Everybody. This is the Committee of Precinct Chairs for June 12th, 2025. It's 7 o'clock here at the Town Hall, Great Hall Meeting Room. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I will do the roll call for a quorum. I do know we have a few new members with us, which is exciting. When I call your precinct, just state your name as, and then, we'll know that you're present. And I'll try and learn them all if I don't know them as quickly as possible to get through this next little piece. So we'll begin with Precinct 1.
Christine Pratt, Precinct 1.
Precinct 2, Matt Tavares. Precinct 3.
Dale Weber, Precinct 3, where it all began.
Precinct 4.
Charlie Votrain, Precinct 4.
Precinct 5.
Precinct 5, Mike Leary.
Precinct 6. Precinct 7.
Beth Gregg, Precinct 7.
Okay. Precinct 8.
Don Williams, Vice Chair, Precinct 8.
Precinct 9.
Catherine Holmes. Hi, everyone.
Precinct 10.
Precinct 10, Alan Costello.
Precinct 11.
Precinct 11, Christopher Merrill.
Precinct 12.
Pat Adelman, Precinct 12.
Precinct 13.
Precinct 13, Ron Riley.
Precinct 14.
Precinct 14, Jeanette Kelly.
Precinct 15.
Precinct 15, Wrestling Brewster, where it continues.
Precinct 16. Absent. Precinct 17. Absent. Precinct 18.
Precinct 18, Carmen Lefrieri, in the middle of it all.
Okay. At this time, as we do at the beginning of each meeting, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. At this point, since I'm the outgoing chair, I'm going to turn the meeting over to the town clerk, Kelly McIlrath, and if she could do the swearing in of the chairs that are present, and then she'll go into, unless there's any objections, I'm going to move approval of minutes to after we reorganize. I had it on there in an incorrect fashion. And then I do see also that we do have Pompey Delafield here this evening. Thank you, Pompey. So, Kelly, the floor and the meeting is yours.
Great, thank you. If you could raise your right hand, and I'm going to have you, as opposed to have, when I swear you in for town meeting, where you just say I do, you're going to repeat after me for this one. So, I state your name.
I, Matthew Tavares.
Hi, Beth Gregg.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
and affirm
and affirm
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties
incumbent upon
as a
me
member of the Committee of Precinct Chairs
as a member of the Committee of Precinct Chairs
for the town of
Precinct
Plymouth, according to the best of my abilities and understanding,
according to the best of
according
my
to the best of
abilities,
my abilities and understanding,
agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution,
agreeably
to the rules and regulations of the Constitution,
the laws of the Commonwealth,
the laws of the
laws
Commonwealth,
of the
and the
Commonwealth,
charter and the bylaws of the town of Plymouth,
and the charter and the
Bylaws
bylaws
of
of
the
the town.
town of Plymouth.
so help me God.
So help me
so
God.
help me
I
God.
decided to do that differently this year. Thank you. So now is the reorg. So as the town clerk, I will take any nominations from the floor for chair for Committee of Precinct Chairs.
I nominate Matt Tavares.
Okay.
I second the nomination.
All right, so I'm going to make that Catherine Holmes as Matt and with the second. Okay. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Seeing none, I will close the nomination period, and I'll do a roll call vote for the vote. So Precinct 1, Christine Pratt.
Yes, Matt Tavares.
Precinct 2, Matt Tavares.
Yes.
Precinct 3, Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Precinct 4, Mr. Voltran.
Yes.
Precinct 5, Mr. Larry.
Yes.
Precinct 6, Robert Freeland.
Yes.
Precinct 7, Ms. Cragg.
Yes.
Precinct 8, Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Precinct 9, Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Precinct 10, Mr. Costello.
Precinct 10, yes.
Precinct 11, Mr. Merrill.
Yes.
Precinct 12, Ms. Edelman.
Yes.
Precinct 13, Mr. Riley.
Yes.
Precinct 14, Ms. Kelly.
Yes.
Precinct 15, Mr. Brewster.
Yes.
Precinct 16, Mr. Delafield.
Yes.
17 is absent. And Precinct 18, Mr. LaFerre.
Yes.
So on a vote of 17 to 0, Mr. Chairman, Matt Tavares, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you. I appreciate the applause, but really, but yeah, I thank you all for trusting me to take this on for a second year. I've enjoyed working with the past committee of precinct chairs, and I'm very excited to see kind of a new makeup this year. With, I think we have 5, maybe 6 new members here. So I look forward to working with you all, and I look forward to, I think we made some great progress over the last year and how we've worked through some meetings and working with the town. And I'd like to see us progress and work off of any ideas that you have. And, you can always shoot ideas to me for things to talk about. But that being said, we still have further business to do here. Next, we will do the reorganization for vice chair. So I'm going to do it in the same fashion as the town clerk. So are there any nominations for vice chair from the floor? Yep.
I nominate William Brewster.
I have a,
Wrestling Brewster.
Right.
You want to be?
I have a nomination from Pompey Delafield for wrestling Brewster.
Second.
I'm
Precinct
sorry.
4.
Oh, okay. And seconded by Mr. Votrain. Are there any other nominations from the floor or online? Hearing and seeing none, I will close the nominations and call for the roll call vote. Precinct 1.
Yes.
Precinct 2. Yes. Precinct 3.
Yes.
Precinct 4.
Yes.
Precinct 5.
Yes.
Precinct 6.
Yes.
Precinct 7.
Yes.
Precinct 8.
Yes.
Precinct 9.
Yes.
Precinct 10.
Precinct 10, yes.
Precinct 11.
Yes.
Precinct 12.
Yes.
Precinct 13.
Yes.
Precinct 14.
Yes.
Precinct 15.
Yeah.
Precinct 16.
Yes.
Precinct 17 is absent. Precinct 18.
Yes.
So congratulations, Mr. Brewster, on a vote of 17 to 0. You are vice chair once again. Congratulations. Next within the reorganization is going to be for clerk. The clerk has been Pat Adelman. She's stepped in, particularly when our admin has been out to handle the minutes. So I open at this moment any nominations for clerk from the floor or online.
Nominate Pat Adelman.
Okay. Mr. Weber nominates Pat Adelman if Pat Adelman agrees.
I'll second it.
Okay.
So we have-
And then, yeah,
Precinct 10 would like to second that.
okay, all right. And seconded by Mr. Costello. All right. Are there any other nominations from the floor or online? Yep, she did. If not, I'm going to close the nominations, and we will call for the roll call vote. Precinct 1.
Yes.
Precinct 2, yes. Precinct 3.
Yes.
Precinct 4.
Yes.
Precinct 5.
Yes.
Precinct 6.
Yes.
Precinct 7.
Yes.
Precinct 8.
Yes.
Precinct 9. Catherine?
Mute button. Yes. Sorry.
Precinct 10,
Precinct 10, yes.
Precinct 11,
Yes.
Precinct 12,
Yes.
Precinct, that was an enthusiastic yes. Precinct 13,
Yes.
Precinct 14,
Yes.
Precinct 15,
Yes.
Precinct 16.
Yes.
Precinct 17 is absent. Precinct 18.
Yes.
Congratulations, Pat, from 17 affirmative, 0 in the negative. I look forward to working with you over the next year as clerk, along with wrestling as vice
Matt?
chair. Yes, Pat.
Is Kristen online or?
No, she, due to our meeting moving from next Thursday to this Thursday, she had a previous engagement.
Okay. So
She's
I'll
not.
be taking the minutes.
You can. She also has. She'll rewatch this tomorrow and do the
Oh,
minutes as well.
okay. Great.
Yep. So you can save your hand if you'd like. All right. Okay. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, the approval of the minutes from May 15th, 2025. Are there any comments or corrections to the minutes? Ms. Allen?
It said the meeting began at 6 PM, and I think it was 7 PM.
Oh, I see that in there, yeah, on the first note. Good
Yeah,
catch, I didn't
that's
even catch
all.
that. Okay. Okay, we can make that adjustment. Are there any other comments?
Motion to approve with adjustment. Second.
Motion to approve by Mr. Brewster, seconded by Mr. Delafield. And because we are hybrid with members online, I will go through the roll call to accept the minutes. Precinct 1,
Yes.
Precinct 2, yes. Precinct 3. Mr. Weber?
Sorry, yes.
Yeah. Precinct 4,
Yes.
Precinct 5,
Yes.
Precinct 6,
Yes.
Precinct 7,
Yes.
Precinct 8,
Yes.
Precinct 9,
Yes.
Precinct 10,
Precinct 10, yes.
Precinct 11,
Abstain.
Precinct 12,
Yes.
Precinct 13,
Yes.
Precinct 14,
Abstain.
Precinct 15,
Approve.
Precinct 16,
Yes.
Precinct 17, absent. Precinct 18.
Yes.
Okay, all right, so those pass. Thank you very much. Moving again right along, we just have kind of two discussion items this evening, and I know that we have a lot of new members, so we may not be fully prepared, but some things to think about also going into our next meeting in July, is basically some topics or subjects I thought might be of COPC interest for our one-year term here. So obviously we go through town meeting articles in the spring and the fall, and that takes up a lot of time as well, particularly in September, end of August, September, and into October for the fall. But I'd like to get from the COPC any topics or items that are within our scope in the current charter and what we might think about having for future meetings, to discuss. If I understand it's kind of being thrown on some people this evening, but if anyone's thought about anything or has anything, love to discuss it now, or you can always send me an email and we can make it an agenda item. Mr. Brewster.
I think we should discuss the role of vice chairs and voting. We currently don't have a policy on that, whether it is COPC's policy, the charter policy, but I think we should definitely discuss it.
Okay. Yes, just to refresh the body in particular, if there's anyone new here, in October 2024, Article 26 was regarding to allow the vice chairs to vote in the absence of a chair. That motion did fail, 60 to 64 to 1. So that's not in the new charter. It can definitely be a topic that we discuss. Currently, at the moment, the past practice is for the vice chairs to, while they may sit here, they may also vote in the absence of a chair. I'm happy to add that to a item of discussion in the future, for sure. Unless you have anything else to add, Ms. Holmes, I see your hand is raised online.
Yes, hi, everyone. So thanks for that. I think that the real focus for me is around budget items. So we have talked several times about the need to understand what the impact of the growth in housing and development has on Plymouth and the school district. We know that when the superintendent came before us about a little over 2 years ago, and then briefly last year, he talked about the need for us to basically rebuild the schools that we have, about 5 of them, for just the population that we currently have. South Plymouth has been inundated, as you all know, with lots of development. We have potentially an Atlantic Country Club development coming with, I'm hearing, over 400 units if it's allowed to be sold. There's another property that is 465 acres in Plymouth and Bourne that is currently, the owners are doing an assessment as to whether anyone has interest in keeping it as Cranberry Bog Wind Farm, which is currently protected in 61A, or whether they may change that status and sell that land. And then there's an additional property in South Plymouth that's going to drive more housing. So I think we just need to maybe get ahead of this a little bit, understand what the costs are of the impacts of that, so that we can understand that before we get to the fall town meeting. Because when we're voting in articles, as I always say, we really need to assess what the priorities are. And in that, we have to look at the long-term needs of the town are, and schools. Building schools is really expensive. So if we could pick that back up, I'd really appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you for that. I will definitely add that in, particularly as we get closer to, town meeting time. We can definitely bring in the schools. It might be a little bit harder over the summer periods, but
I'll leave it to you, Matt, to decide what and when is appropriate as the chair.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, just speaking to the budget, it might be nice to have the finance director come in maybe on a quarterly basis, just to give us an update on what's actual versus what's been budgeted. That way we come educated when the budget time does come, to see if whatever is being allocated to those respective departments, we can, make those decisions on town meeting floor, especially when these budget items are pretty large.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. And that is something that I think we've gotten a little bit better at, but I think that what you're saying of actual versus, what was on the budget is a great idea. And I can speak to Lynn about that as well, and I'm sure she'd be more than happy. So, okay. Mr. Williams, then Mr. Delafield.
I have a question about the chairmanship of a precinct. As people know, I'm the vice chair, and George and I pretty much split the service here. I'm wondering how often you can change chairs, because in theory, we could change the chair when it's my turn, during the summer months to serve, and it's George's turn in the winter months to switch to talk. So I'm wondering if we really want to stop a vice chair from voting.
Sure, and I think that can be part of discussion when we talk about that. But I will tell you, per our current charter, a precinct could call for a reorganization tomorrow, or 48 hours, actually, with advance notice. But I think that what you're stating there would be part of discussion if we have that as a topic. Yep. Mr. Delafield.
Just to follow up on what Catherine Holmes was saying a little bit, I think almost a separate one is the growth and how it affects the master plan. Getting the master plan people in here, we need to be updated all the time on different issues on the master plan. And I think growth would be one that could be almost a single item.
Okay, I will add that to my growing list here. Anyone else? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Pratt, I just saw you online there. Please go ahead.
I know Mr. Costello chairs the Legislative Oversight Committee, and I believe we've had one presentation on the works of the Legislative Oversight Committee. But I would suggest that we revisit that whole process, because we should be getting, in my mind, reports on articles every time we meet, one or two, even if it's in written form, something that we can convey to the rest of our town meeting members. And, you know, I'm being asked questions about articles, and I think we're a little behind the 8 ball here in terms of doing our due diligence on the articles of town meeting that have been in the past. So I'd like to revisit the process if we could, and maybe talk about a written distribution or something that is maybe easier for the committee to complete. But we're not getting the feedback or the results from the committee that I think we all expected or intended to receive. So that would be my request, is that we revisit that process.
Sure, we can add that to an agenda item for sure. And I'd like to also mention to chairs currently sitting here, while this Legislative Oversight Committee is open to anyone that wants to be on it, but maybe some of the new COPC chair members might also like to be on that and get involved and get some more hands in there. But yes, Chris, I will add that to this list as well. Thank you for that. Are there any other items within the room? Ms. Adelman.
I know we visited this before with George McKay trying to increase voter participation. But this last election, my precinct came in second to the bottom of voters, and I would like to discuss again how to get the vote out.
Okay, that could be something that maybe we work with. I know the town clerk in their presentation post this election had brought up, so maybe we could have her in at some point to, when she was discussing it with the select board, maybe we could have her come in to speak about it. And I know we have a couple of groups within the town itself that have kind of taken on the charge to try and do increase voter turnout. Not fully within the COPC scope, but I'll see what I can do to just kind of get some updates as far as what's going on in the town and what the town is doing to
Matt, just as
Thank you.
I had a friend from college at a college reunion. He lives in Washington State. They do all of their elections by mail.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that has, they had, their municipal elections are, 60, 65%. It's something to consider, making it easier.
And we can't make that decision, but you could suggest it to the town clerk and the select board. But yeah, we can add that, a topic like that as well. We'll see where it fits in. Are there any other comments? Catherine, I still see your hand raised, but I think it might be from before, unless you have something new.
I lowered it and then I raised it again. So I've got just a couple more things that I think you might want to consider, but there's no pressure. I'll leave it to you. We had an article that came before us to purchase land because there was at the time, a perception that there was a desperate need to build a headquarters for the police and the fire departments. And it got turned down, it voted down, but we haven't heard anything on that. So I think it would be good to understand if we could get the chief's of the fire and the police in at some point then, where we could talk about, what are their real needs, not only in their buildings, how are they managing, this new development that was proposed, how are they managing the space, because that was, presented to us as really challenging. And then also there's a gap in their hiring for the police officers, so maybe we could get an update on where they stand with filling those vacancies. I think that would be excellent. And then I also think that it would be interesting to understand if we could get maybe Stephen Cole in on the Economic Development Council for the Plymouth Foundation, and maybe they could provide an overview on what it is that they're doing, the work that they're doing, what their goals and objectives are. I know the select board may be picking that up at some point in the future, evaluating it, but I think it would be good to kind of understand what are the great works that they've done. I know that they have a blue economic seminar every year, but it would be nice to see, what are the numbers around how much economic development has been brought in through their initiatives. And I know Stephen's got a lot of activities going on, so I'd like to see something around that. And then secondly, the status of the sewage, for the town sewage. We had some improvements that were done in our sewage. Obviously over last fall, it shut down Main Street, and it would be nice to kind of understand what more monies are they going to need? Are they expanding that into different communities? Just a kind of an overview on where that whole project stands would be very helpful, I think.
Okay, I think I got
And lastly,
all three
we
of those.
may
You have
want
another
to,
one?
now that we've had an election and we've got a lot of new members, we may want to send out for Chris Pratt's comment regarding legislative oversight. We may want to get some fresh blood in there and send out an email to all town meeting members and ask them if they're interested and they could volunteer. Really great subcommittee.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I think you had 3 new ones and kind of tacked on to Chris Pratt's. Okay, I think I got them all. Are there any other suggestions or comments? Yep, all right, yep, got another, we're gonna keep,
Just one
I'm gonna
more.
run out of paper.
Ask and you shall
so-
receive, Mr. Tavares.
Go ahead.
Just for full disclosure, I'm also on the airport commission as well, but I think it would be important too to have the airport manager come in at some point to discuss the master plan of the Plymouth Airport, as well as in discussion with the extension of that runway at the airport. I know there's a lot of information being floated out there. Some might be misinformation, positive or negative. So I think it may be important to be, well-educated as well, have that manager come in to discuss those key topics.
Yeah, and I actually had that same conversation with 2 of the other commissioners over the last few months about potentially, once we got reorged and to potentially coming in. That's great. That's a good idea. All right, we're on the same page. Are there any other items?
Oh, I forgot I have one.
Do you want to just email them all to me?
No, well, I think the other thing that we talked about before was having our state representation come in and talk to us and provide updates on all the great work that they're doing. So if we could get, Senator Fernandez and Michelle Badger in at least, maybe, every quarter or something to provide updates on the work that they're doing, I think that would be extremely beneficial.
Okay, thank you. Any, I'll ask again, any further discussion items? No, I'm seeing no head shaking. Okay, that's good. All right, I will take all of that, but as always, if you think of something, please just email it to me, or to Kristen, our admin, and we'll put it on this list, and we'll keep trying to work through it and fit things in as we can, and as people's schedules allow, that we might need to bring in. The next item is guiding principles for the town of Plymouth. Some of you may be aware at not this past select board meeting, but 2 meetings ago, They readopted the guiding principles for the town of Plymouth. You all received them in kind of our email packet for the meeting. I'm not going to read through them as they did in their meeting, but I think it's something that this committee and, in fact, all of our committees and boards throughout the town of Plymouth should definitely be aware of and take note of and keep in the back of their minds as we go through our meetings. I'm only going to read the headers so that they're out there for those that are watching and listening. Be patient, kind, and tolerant. Show respect in attitude, tone, and approach. Be inclusive, collaborative, and promote diversity. Show in your actions, attitude, and tone that excellent customer service is important to you. Retain the highest levels of integrity in your performance, actions, and decisions. Strive to have a positive attitude about the governance of the town. Listen. Take responsibility. Be part of a great team. So I think the biggest thing there is listen, and the respect and attitude and tone and approach. That being said, if anyone has any comments regarding this, I see Chris Pratt, you have your hand. If you want to weigh in, I'd like that.
So, Chairman Tavares, some few years ago, when guiding principles was being discussed at various levels of our governance, the Committee of Precinct Chairs took that on as an action item and came up with their own. So believe it or not, there are guiding principles that were established and approved by the Committee of Precinct Chairs. So whether we want to revisit that and accept the ones that were established by the Select Board, or whether we want to retain the ones that we had originally approved a few years ago. But it's something where there's the Select Boards, and there's also in the archives some for the Committee of Precinct Chairs as well.
That's great, and that's good to know. That was probably before my time here in town government. So I will see if Kristen can go through, the files and the archives and pull that up, and maybe we can do like a little quick comparison and contrast with the Select Board one, and making it I didn't want to make it an action item tonight because a lot of people were just even reorged last night within their precincts. But it's definitely something that we can add to that other list, but also an action item. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Any other comments regarding this item? Mr. Williams.
These are the 10 commandments. I hesitate to add an 11th, but there's nothing in there about transparency, and I think that should be the 11th, just as a FYI.
Any further comments? No. Not seeing any. It's a fairly light agenda this evening, but we will move to public comment. If there's anyone online or in the room, not seeing anything, I would just make two announcements. One is from the moderator. He always keeps rolling people that want to be on the Finance and Advisory Committee. He is currently still looking for some people to fill some current vacancies. But he said to email him if you're interested, or if the Committee of Precinct Chairs know anyone that's interested in being on FinCom, have them get in touch with the moderator. And he asked me to pass that message along this evening to each of you. You're all very well connected within your neighborhoods, your communities, your precinct. So if you know anyone, have them reach out to the moderator. He's going to be making those appointments fairly soon. I can't remember the exact date, but it's before the end of the month. It might be by June 30th. He has to make those before July 1st starts, which starts our new fiscal year. The other announcement would just be that our next meeting is back to its normal third Thursday, which would be the 17th of July, and it'll be right here in this room. I thank you for accommodating the town hall being closed due to the federal holiday on next Thursday. So thank you for accommodating and probably switching your schedules to be here this evening. If there's nothing further, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, Mr. Weber.
I did note that there was no section in the agenda for new business.
Oh.
Is that something that you didn't want to do, or is there an opportunity for me to?
Unless anyone has any objections, that is just me getting this out, and I apologize.
No need to apologize.
So we should do new and old business unless anyone has any objections.
I actually happen to have
So,
some, but.
so
All
can
right.
you amend, I think you need to amend the agenda to add old and new business.
Yeah, I don't, if there's no objections, I don't feel the need to have a roll call vote on adding old or new business.
Okay. That's how they always used to make me do it, but whatever you choose, Matt, it's up to you. You got it.
I don't think there's any issues there if you want to go ahead.
All right. So that being said, Mr. Weber, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to report some stuff that's going on in Precinct 3. And I'm not going to hog the microphone. I just want to say that neighborhood has been struggling for the last year and a half about the removal and demolition of the marina down on Union and Water Street, and that is going along. Actually, the marina is no more. It has been demolished. It went down in about 3 days. I do want to give a shout out to project manager David Ricardo of Ricardo and Son Builders. He's the general contractor for the project. He's handling the project very well and is willing to meet with abutters whenever necessary. And we're looking for this to continue smoothly. The main purpose of my new business today is just to give an early heads up and maybe lobby precinct chairs for something that we hope is coming up at the October town meeting, which will be the rehabilitation of the grounds of the Plymouth Training Green, a historical fixture in the center of Precinct 3. Long-standing tradition of honoring veterans of many past wars. And the walkways down there are pretty much deplorable and are an accident waiting to happen. So Precinct 3 actually sponsored an article for this last year, and we submitted to the CPC, not the CPC, yeah, the Community Preservation Committee, the necessary paperwork to sponsor an article. It was felt best after that paperwork went missing in the transition of the old Community Preservation Committee and the new Community Preservation Committee. So it was languishing to the point where I was requesting information on it and no one could find it. So, long story short, it was best felt that the town of Plymouth itself, since they own the property, should be the sponsor of the article. So Precinct 3 recently passed a motion at Precinct 3 to issue our support to the town, to the process. That application has been filed. There is work that's going by Nick Fiella of the Parks Division. He's actively working with a design firm, GPI, the same firm that did our traffic study. They do great work, and we're hoping to see an article at the October meeting and would ask for everyone to please support the historic Training Green facelift. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for that update. And yeah, I'd heard through town that they're looking to, because those sidewalks are, I've walked through there. I'm waiting to trip myself, so.
I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but I did see your dad down there at
Yeah.
Memorial, and we put a bug in his ear as well, so thank you.
All right. Yeah, he's a veteran as well. Okay. Is there any other new business within the room or online? Not seeing any. I'll go to the traditional. Is there? Is there any old business that anyone would like to discuss? Not seeing any, I'd entertain.
Motion to adjourn.
All right,
Seconded.
motion to adjourn by Mr. Brewster, seconded by Mr. Delafield, and I'd like to call this meeting adjourned at 7:40. Thank you all for attending this evening, and we'll see you next month.
Good night.